Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Retro Pioneers podcast. I'm your host, RetroJayee, and today I am welcome all around good person who loves to do interviews or loves to talk about anime, and she's very good when it comes down to traveling topics and stuff of that nature. But I'm not going to say too much. I'm going to let her introduce a little bit of her stuff. How you doing, Lauren?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Can you tell the folks a little something about yourself that they don't already know?
Yeah, oh my gosh. I would say I started out my first game ever was Spyro. It was on the PS1. So I would say that's probably a fun fact that not many people know.
Okay.
Just been playing games since PS1 days and Game Boy Advance days.
Okay. So since I know that you're a gamer, by you saying that you tried out Spyro when you was younger, right? Have you tried the updated one?
So I've played the ones on the Switch when they kind of remastered like the original trilogy of them all. So that was really cool to kind of go back and replay them all again and kind of like have the nostalgia of it. As far as games that weren't like the original trilogy, I've played one on the Wii and I forget what it's called, but I really like that one as well. It was pretty cool.
Okay. So what was your thoughts when you heard about the people who making it, making a fourth?
I mean, I'm super excited about it. I love Spyro, and I'm glad that they're kind of keeping the tradition going and having new audiences and new generations be able to kind of fall in love with it as well.
Okay. So run us down. What got you started into like your creation?
Gosh, I would say I've always been big into like taking pictures and videos and stuff growing up, but as far as more seriously, it kind of happened when I used to work in the sport industry. I was working with the Colts and had my time there end and kind of transitioned into editing for other content creators and kind of doing that background work for them. And then eventually it was kind of like, you know what, I love doing this for myself too. Like, why not kind of take that on as well? So it's kind of where I started. I'm still pretty fresh, still pretty new with it, but I'm grateful to have the opportunities that I've had so far.
Okay, because for one thing, I just want to throw out there, I'm definitely enjoying binge watching your short, like your reels on Instagram, because the way that you're able to talk to people and get them comfortable and stuff like that when it come down to you talking to them face to face, like mic to mic and stuff like that. That's not an easy feat to do. So, what things helped you when it come down to like I know you said you work with cults or
Mhm.
you did editing, but far as your just getting engaged with the person who you're interviewing, how is that for you?
I would say it probably comes down to like how you said you love interviewing people and kind of getting to know people. That's kind of part of it too. I love understanding other people's POVs and kind of how they think about things and their insight. So it's really just trying to get to know the person, just kind of on that level, regardless of whatever work they're doing, whether it be manga or acting or things like that.
Okay. So what got you, Lauren, into anime?
I mean, I definitely started out as a kid. I would come home and watch, do the Toonami thing. I came home, watched Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, really big into Zatch Bell.
Okay.
I would go into school the next day and talk about it with my friend Haley. We'd be like, "Oh my God, did you see that episode?" So that's definitely where I got started. I was a big nerd growing up. So it's cool now that it's a little bit more celebrated and, more widespread and not as niche, but that would be my start with it. I definitely took a break probably from it in college, but afterwards I found my way slowly back into my roots, and now it's like every day just watching anime, trying to catch up with One Piece.
So have you finished? Well, since you say you catching up, I know you probably haven't finished One Piece, but how far are you like how far are you into it right now?
I am in Ennie's lobby right now, so as much as I feel like I've watched tons of episodes at this point, I'll look at it and it'll be like, "No, I'm, like, not even a third of the way through,"
Hmm.
so I'm trying my best. I don't think it helps that I'm also watching the filler. I'm like, "I don't wanna miss out on anything," so I know that's probably not the best way to go about it, but I'll get there eventually.
No, because I really feel like once we get done with the live action, I think they're going to
Mhm.
make a shorter version of on One Piece.
Mhm,
Hopefully,
yeah,
fingers crossed, because that's what
yeah.
it's really been needed. Because One Piece is too long. Like
Mhm.
I'm not the biggest One Piece fan. I love the Straw Hat Cruise and everything,
Mhm.
but One Piece is really long if you don't have
Yeah,
time for it. But
exactly, yeah.
but with that, how do you find time in your adult life when it come down to content creation? Just everything in general. How do you find time to be able to watch your favorite episodes of One Piece or just any anime in general?
I would say a lot of it is just maybe like it's definitely multitasking. I'm definitely doing something while I'm watching the anime, whether it's like stretching after working out, or I'm blessed to be doing a lot of editing for clients, so I can have that on in the background. So that makes it really nice. But yeah, that's I agree. As far as like One Piece, that's what makes it hard. You know, when you're busy, it's a lot to sit through.
Yes, yes.
I also do this thing where I'll people make fun of me for it, but I'll watch like, I'll have it on in the background and watch an anime all the way through and probably, like, actually pay attention to little bits and pieces along the way, and then I'll rewatch it, and I'll watch it maybe, like, 3 times to finally get all of the pieces put together on what actually happened, but
I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with that. That's just like reading a book or
Mhm,
studying for a test or something in the book. You creating your thumb, your points where you need to go back and
mhm,
restudy and stuff in that nature. So I mean, there ain't nothing but schoolwork coming back into the anime world for you. But
mhm.
but what I know a lot of people want to know though in the community, what is your top 5 animes of all time for you?
For me personally, gosh, I would say, like, not putting it in necessarily in order. I know, like, Inuyasha's gotta be in there, Naruto's gotta be in there. I would say One Piece has to be in there too. I mean, it's One Piece, it's iconic. I kind of one of the animes that really got me back into watching anime was Demon Slayer, so I gotta throw that in there too. I know not everyone's a huge fan of it, but, I mean, the animation, I you just can't deny that it's really good animation. As far as the 5th one, maybe Attack on Titan. I think
Okay.
that one would have to be in there. I think that one gets a lot of people that don't watch anime into watching anime, so and it's kind of crazy with all the plot twists, so I would say that's my top 5.
Okay, so something I want to know is what, and this is my personal question to you.
Mhm.
What is your favorite Studio Ghibli movie?
Kiki's Delivery Service. I grew up with that one. That one's always gonna be my top one. I can't help it.
But let me ask you, why is that your favorite one though?
It would probably go back to the fact that I've just been watching it since I was a little girl, so it's the nostalgia of it, and I mean, I knew it'd been a couple years since I'd watched it again, and when I rewatched it, it just brought back so much, like, oh my god, I remember, like, how, like, I stuff of that has kind of, like, played parts in my life that I didn't really realize, and so now it's kind of funny being, an adult, it's like, "Oh my gosh." But
Because something that I know I was recently talking to somebody before about, right? Where a lot of animes that we're used to watching when we was younger,
Mhm,
we didn't really grasp the concept of how amazing that anime was,
mhm,
or the movie or the show, or just in general. We didn't really understand from a kid perspective of how
mhm,
amazing this content is until we got older and we like, oh, that's dark humor, or that's kind of,
mhm.
but I also just recently watched. I mean, I've been seeing it like little pieces and pieces of Kiki's Delivery when I was a kid, but I actually watched it 2 days ago. I think it was right after seeing your reel about them bringing it into theaters.
Mhm, yeah.
So I was like, let me go to my collection and see what I find. And that's when I found it. And I was like, let me watch it again. But what would be a second favorite of yours from the Ghibli collection?
Yeah. Well, just to your point, as far as like Kiki's delivery service, I think now that I am adult and now that you mentioned that, like I think where they talk about kind of like burnout and how she loses her magic and like has to totally step away and go do her own thing and kind of like re-find her magic and not have it rely on other people, but just kind of finding herself. I think that was really a beautiful point that I definitely did not pick up on as a kid, but it's cool now as an adult to see that. But I would think my second one would have to be Probably Spirited Away. I mean, it is pretty iconic, and that one was also from my childhood as well. Also kind of scared me when I was little, like, when her parents turn into animals, I'm like, "What is happening?" But no, I think that one's really beautifully done too.
Yeah, because something I love about the animations of Ghibli, you know, animes, right? It's done so beautifully when it come down to the visuals.
Mhm.
I mean, it like everything was hand drawn around that time anyway. So you can definitely tell the love and that they put into those movies that they created. You like the movie's so good, they actually try to go and make live action movies from
Mhm.
these, you know,
Yeah.
these animes. So with that, are you hoping that Kiki's Delivery come to theaters?
Be against it. I'm kind of always for, like, the shot of people trying to, like, bring it to life. I don't necessarily think I mean, like Avatar: The Last Airbender, for example, some of the movies that have come out haven't necessarily, been whatever, but I mean, I don't think it's really tainted, Avatar: Last Airbender as a series. People still love the animation of it, so I'm all for, like, hopefully getting a movie out and maybe it is, brings a whole new audience to it. I know, like, with One Piece, honestly, I hadn't seen One Piece until I saw the live action and kind of really liked the story of it and how fast paced it was with the live action. So if it can bring a whole new audience and come to theaters like that, that would be really cool.
Oh, you actually came from the live action One Piece
I
to the
did with One Piece. I'll admit it. I'll admit it. I did.
that's the first.
Yeah.
Because
I think that was what was really cool, about meeting Steven, the actor that plays Mihawk at Otaku Fest was kind of like, wow, it's kind of full circle moment from, when the live action first released. Never had watched One Piece before, and now I'm, like, trying to make my way through it, making content about it, and getting to meet actors from it's really cool.
yeah, because with that, so I done talked to many people who in the space that you are in when it come down to interviewing all the voice actors and stuff of these
Mm.
animes and stuff. So something I asked them is how is it easy to be able to transition far as, okay, I'm going to this conference or I'm going to this con and I'm going to interview this particular person. Is that easy or is it hard for a person to be able to accomplish that?
As far as, like, interviewing the voice
Yeah.
actor?
Yeah, interviewing the voice actor.
I would say it's still pretty new for me, so right now, I feel like I'm just kind of finding my footing in all of it, so it's probably a little, not difficult, but just, just kinda trying to figure out how I go about it and kind of who I wanna talk to, 'cause what's nice about the cons is they do have typically a plethora of voice actors there, so it's kinda like you gotta pick and choose who you talk to or who has the time to talk to you, um, kinda just moving forward with that.
Okay. So from that, what since you say you're newly in it, right? What
Mhm,
type of advice would you give somebody who's like in your footsteps right now, who's
mhm.
trying to also pursue a career in this? Like what steps you had to take that you might think will be easier for the next person?
I would say finding networking for sure and finding people that, I would say finding some people that are kind of at the same level, just starting out like you are, and then finding people that can kind of be like mentors to you as well. It's nice to have people that you can go to and if you're like, "Hey, I don't know about this content or I don't know about these interview questions," and being able to kind of bounce those ideas off people. And just having like I said at different levels because people that, have, done hundreds of interviews and have a bunch of followers, they might be asking and doing kind of different stuff than you would at your level. So having the people that are at your level to more peers like that, it's kind of nice.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And with this, with you doing this, right? Do you see yourself doing this for a good little minute, or you just like this is something I'm trying out right?
I think I'll do it for a good minute, because that's the one thing I asked myself when getting into this. It's like, what am I really doing it for? Kind of like, why am I spending so much time doing all this? It can't just be for like the money or for, the followers and things like that. And I love creating. I love connecting with people. I love being able to nerd out about the things with people about it. So I think I'll be doing it for a while, even if it's not really showing, crazy results. It's something I enjoy doing just on a day to day basis. So I'll definitely be sticking with it.
Yeah, because I definitely see your passion for in your
Mhm,
interviews and in some of your reels that you're having fun. And
mhm,
what most people fail to understand is when you're doing something like that, you want to have fun because that
mhm.
what motivates you to keep going. That what motivates you to not give up when you don't see, like you mentioned, the results that you was aiming for, but it will come, but it just at the same time is like just have fun, rock out, like every moment that you spend with like because you're interviewing people who you're listening to or watching on
Mhm.
these shows, and you're like, man, like especially as a kid, right?
Yeah.
You're thinking to yourself, man, it's just a show. I'm enjoying it. I'm really binging out to watch these show. I gotta wait till next week to watch the next episode.
Mhm.
And now you're actually interviewing these folks that you've been growing up to. So
Yeah.
do you think you're gonna fan out one day over a certain person or
Well, I don't think so, but at the same time, I met Amanda Bynes when I was little, and I was like, when we went to meet her, I was like, it's like Amanda Bynes. I kind of like her, whatever. And then when I saw her in person, I was like starstruck. I was like, oh my god. So I don't know, maybe it might be something that I'll feel chill about it until it actually happens. But I think working in sports has kind of desensitized me a little bit, getting to be like I worked for the Orlando Magic too. So being courtside where like Dwight Howard or Blake Griffin are right there,
Mhm.
and being on the field with next to some of the players and stuff, it's kind of like you kind of realize that these people are still people at the end of the day. So I mean, but still, it's. I agree. It's really cool to be like. I just started watching Digimon. I think Digimon Tamers. Maybe it's the newest Digimon, and one of the people that we see at shows a lot, Zeno, he voices one of the characters on there. So it's cool to be like watching something, really get into it and be like, wait, that voice sounds familiar. And then being able to run into them the next week, it's just kind of mind blowing. So
Yeah,
that I think that's really neat.
because like you mentioned, being able being able to be courtside with the players or just the people behind the scenes when it come down to the sports.
Hmm.
It's just something about when you're in a whole different field and
Hmm.
you get that excitement, like, oh man,
Hmm.
what he the voice of Goku, oh he the voice of Ichigo, or like
Hmm.
it just drives you insane because like I said, you never think in a million years that you will be next to this person who voiced your favorite anime characters.
Hmm.
So with that, right? Do you have a particular anime in mind of someone who you really wanna interview, like a character voice actor that you really wanna interview one day?
I don't necessarily right at this moment. I'm still just kind of like taking it in as it comes and really excited to meet everybody and like I said, nerd out about it. And but I mean anybody from the iconic, big three anime I is really would be really cool.
So, also you do travel videos and stuff. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Like, what got you into traveling and what got you thinking about making content for travel?
Mhm. I think it just came down to like I said, I like doing content in general and taking videos, and I realized I was doing a lot of traveling to some really cool places, and since I was already had my phone out the whole time taking videos anyway, I'm like, might as well turn this into something that I can post. So that's kind of where that started from, just kind of sharing some of the areas that I've been to. Like I never thought I'd be able to get to go to Japan, and now I've been twice, about to go again in a couple months. So it's just I don't know, it's just if I'm already gonna be there and already like taking videos, might as well make the content for it.
Right, right. Like somebody told me everything you do is content. So might well take
Yeah.
advantage of it.
Yeah, no, I was just with my family and we stopped at Walmart and they're like, "Lauren, we can get videos in front of you walking into Walmart. Come on, make a video." And I'm like,
Oh.
I'm like, "No, I'm good."
They try to do IRL. Oh,
Yeah, they're like, "Come with me to go shopping at Walmart."
wow. So with the traveling thing, right? Is there a particular place that you really, really want to go to and somewhere where you really want to do content?
I think it would be really cool to maybe go to places like maybe some more European countries or going to like Thailand or China. Those are 2 other places I'd like to visit. I know we're going to Singapore here next month, so that'll be really cool to go to now that I've kind of learned a little bit more about there.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
actually thinking about I'm
Are
just
you?
thinking about it. Moving to Thailand.
Really?
Yes, yes,
Oh, that would be super cool. I
yes.
feel like that would definitely be a shock, after you always lived in the US?
Yeah, I always lived in the US.
Okay.
I've been to China one time and I want to say Paris, but it's
Okay.
just it's just no, things seem more peaceful in other
Mhm.
countries than it
Yeah.
does
Yeah.
in America right now. So, oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I know it is really like going to Japan, it is really peaceful, especially just how quiet it is even on the street. It's really nice. It's kind of like, wow, this is like I don't feel like I'm like overstimulated just from walking outside.
I know because I mean, when you go somewhere, you want to be able to enjoy yourself and have fun.
Mhm.
And with that, I feel because I know a lot of people becoming travel content creators now only
Mhm.
because of how easy, like you mentioned, it is just to pick up your camera or pick up your phone and just be like, oh, let's make content. But
Mhm.
it's different too when you can like you can tell the genuineness when it come
Mhm.
down to when a person loving what they're doing or someone who
Mhm.
just forcing the
Yeah.
content. You know,
Yeah.
so with that from well, how am I trying to say this? So like just say in the beginning stage and now far as content, you see a big growth far as you seeing some type of growth in it.
Mhm. Yeah, I think I've seen growth in kind of all aspects of it, from conceptualization on just kind of what ideas I think about. I feel like now I shoot content more intentionally. It's not just film everything and throw everything, figured out later. It's kind of like, no, I need to make sure I get this shot, and this shot. Scripting instead of doing a bunch of rough drafts and going to my friends being like, does this make sense? It's like, okay, I can get one out a lot quicker. Just with a lot of aspects, it's kinda cool to see the growth. I definitely still feel far from where I wanna be, but I think I started taking it a little bit more seriously towards the beginning of the year, and so from the beginning of the year to now, I can kinda scroll back and see the difference, and that's nice to know that just in that kind of amount of time, there can be some growth.
Okay. Do you also go back sometime and watch your old content just to see? Like, I don't know if everyone does this, but go back to your old content and be like, okay, these some things I could have changed there,
Mhm,
or I'm gonna make this better next time. Like, do you do that?
mhm. Yeah, I do that, not all the time, but, like, every once in a while, kinda scroll back and look, and I know I've got friends that are in the content space they'll go back to their old videos, and they kind of rework them just a little bit, and they'll repost them, and it's kinda crazy the difference in engagement they'll get, and it's literally the same video, just tweaked a little bit with the things they've learned in that time.
Yeah. You'd be
Yeah.
surprised. Like really, like when you become well more of a expert editor and stuff
Mhm.
of that nature, you could just fine tune little things here and there, and it just blow up, go viral.
Yeah. Mhm. It's crazy how one line, your hook can be just a little bit different, and that's all the difference. It's
Yes.
wild.
So with your expertise on editing, right? How is it? Is it easy to be able to get clients, or is it somewhat like okay, email, wait for a reply, stuff of that nature?
Yeah. I would say I'm not saying it's necessarily easy, but I feel like I've found an easy enough time so far. I don't take on, too many clients. I have about, like, maybe 5 or 6 I'm working with at a time right now before I expand into more. But it's gone well with that. But I will say, like, even with the clients that I do work with, when I first started working with them, it was kind of like a discussion, and it might take some time for them to kind of think about it and come back. And I'll have clients that will work with me for a while, then they'll realize they need to kind of take a break and do other things, and then they'll come back when they need help with catching up on their content. So it's kind of an evergreen thing. It's not just, I got my one person, I work with them, and that's it. So it's kind of evergreen, but I haven't found too much difficult with it, thank goodness so far, but you never know, that can always change.
Yeah, yeah, because sometimes you might run into a situation where you might get editor's block, and you be
Mhm.
like, "Oh,
Yeah.
man," but can I ask you this, far as because something else we like to, focus on this podcast is
Mhm.
mental health and stuff like that. Do you see, mental health play it like a big part in a lot of not just yourself, but in a lot of things far as content creation around?
Mhm. As far as, like, how it affects people's mental health? Okay, yeah. I can see that. I think and that kinda goes back to where I would say find kind of find your tribe of people. That way you have the support. Because I mean, even in the people that I kinda work with, people leave crappy comments and people, or you'll have like content block on things, and it's always nice to just be able to talk to your buddy and be like, "Hey, like, I don't know. I know like people just talk crap on the internet, but it's kind of getting to me." And having that person be able to voice like, "No, you're doing great. Like keep doing what you're doing. Don't let it affect you." Or if you are having kind of content block, being able to get ideas from your friends or even having your friends be like, "Hey, like, maybe you just need to take a day away and just step away from things and come back to it and get a fresh head about it." And I think even with, like, editing, it can be a lot of hours, working by yourself, if you live by yourself. So, it's definitely I prefer it over working, like, a 9 to 5 desk job, and I feel like that's what helps me with my mental health, being able to, like, take an hour, go to the gym, and come back to it.
Mhm.
But that's pretty much what I think with the mental health side of things on it.
Do you sometime, listen to music when you're editing?
Yeah, I'll listen to music. Like I said, I watch anime during it, so and I have my dog with me. It's kinda nice to be at home all day with her and have her cuddled up next to me, so.
Cause something I love to talk, to folks about when it come down to being your own boss and creative manager and stuff of that
Mhm.
nature, right? That you are able to make time. You're able to
Mhm.
have time because one thing we as society we tend to give other people our time, and sometimes that take us from our creative ideas and
Mhm.
making masterpiece of
Mhm.
content that we can actually produce. So I try to strive to tell everyone to be able to do that for yourself because it's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5, but it's just at the same time you want to be able to make make money from your own ideas. Stop making money for someone else when you
Mhm.
can just use your God-given gifts to
Mhm.
make the world happy. Like what you're
Yeah.
doing, you're editing, you're traveling the world, showing us you're showing us through your eyes of your enjoyment, through your
Mhm.
content.
Yeah.
And that right there just is amazing because it's like not everyone can do that for one. And then on
Mhm.
top of that, you don't want to just sit and watch everyone do that because something I'm realizing in the content creation community is we tend to kind of trend doing the same trend, right? Everyone can't do what everyone does. Everyone is good at what they do.
Mhm.
And you can tell from the genuine people who's actually good at what they do. And I want to tell you, you're doing a great job. Keep
No,
it up.
thanks.
Keep it up because I definitely would love to see more of your content in the future.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it.
No, no problem, no problem. Look, I love to uplift everyone because it's about time for us to take back like our creativeness because like I said, it's just so much going on in the world right now where it's just
Mhm.
depressing, where it's just it's taking away your motivation to want to be able to just do anything. So
Mhm.
with that, people who making amazing content, you have to uplift them because at the end of the day, you what helps other people cope with the world.
Yeah. No, I mean, that makes sense, that makes sense.
Yeah. But going forward, do you see any or are you working on any upcoming projects far as for your brand?
Mostly just making more videos. I'm trying to keep myself busy with going to different events. We'll be going to SDCC here soon, and it'll be my first time going. So just kind of trying to think of how I can kind of evolve what I'm doing already. I don't want to just always keep doing the same thing and expect different results. I like to keep building on it and having better quality. And that's kind of so far what I'm doing right now. Just trying to figure out more stuff that I can do with traveling and more stuff that I can do with nerd culture.
Okay. And like what is the process for you when it comes down to you making your content? Like do you sit and strategize what you want the next project to be or your next piece of content to be? Like how is that for you?
I would say it's a kind of a two-pronged thing. I think I will sit down. I love to write everything down. I have my little notebooks that I write in every morning, and I'll do ideation and conceptualization with that. But then there's also the factor of like when we go to these events, like we'll take, a lap of the floor or something, and that's when it's kind of like on the fly, like what can I work with here? What can I do here? I mean, I when in Japan, like for example, in Japan, one of the people we were traveling with, he saw a gashapon machine that had, like, fruit holders,
Mm,
and, like, it was, like, drop of the hat, hadn't thought of anything doing like that, but he did it, and his video ended up going viral because he got a kiwi holder and a watermelon holder,
mm,
and the watermelon holder, he couldn't find a watermelon to put in it, and everyone wanted to see the watermelon in it. So it's just, like, random stuff like that, that you never know what can work out for your content.
yeah.
So I'm never opposed to doing things on the fly like that. But yeah, there's also conceptualization, but just knowing, like, "Hey, this is what I plan on, but when I get into it, I don't know if that's really what's gonna happen." So not being not being afraid to be able to change on the fly.
And with that, do you sometime do because I don't know if this works for everyone, but far as you have batches of content that you kind of like skim through and like, okay, do I want to release this one? Do I want to release that one? Like, is
Mhm.
that something you kind of do far as deciding which content you want to drop at that particular time?
Yeah, I'll do that. I do that like with my Japan content. I still have tons of videos I haven't dropped, and it's kind of just always something nice to have. But I want to make sure that I get out the most relevant ones first, and then we'll be going to the next convention or the next trip, and it's like, okay, well, let me put this on hold. I'll save this for later. Let me get the most relevant stuff out of like this trip for now. So I'll do batching like that. I do batching sometimes with like I came back from Japan and had, like, stationery and different stamps and different card packs and things that I opened. So I'll kind of, like, batch out that and do it all at the same time and then drop it when I feel like I need to too.
Okay, okay. So something that I want to ask you is since you're getting started in the social media perspective of content creation, is there anyone that you've seen that you want to be able to collaborate with one day?
No
Well, we
one
can
in
make it happen.
No one in particular at the moment. I think I'm blessed to have the friends I do have in this space because 'cause they're really good creators and they really know their stuff, and they'll have their different strengths too, which is really nice to be able to some are more serious and really focus on, like, these really high dollar collectibles, like, they're going to warehouses with a full T-Rex skeleton in it and sending me pictures, and I'm like, "What are you doing there? I thought you just, like, went to dinner. What's happening?" But then I also have people that are more, on kind of just getting started out too, and it's really nice to kind of be along the journey with them.
Mm,
So there's no one in particular right now that I would like to, but I'm always open to network and always open to connect with different people and be able to kinda see what they're doing with their content and their process on things.
okay, okay. And something else I do want to ask. Is it hard for you right now, far as being able to multitask on multiple platforms? Or like could you have some content creators who focus primarily like for example like Instagram because
Mhm.
you get your brands and your sponsorships and stuff through Instagram. But do you also like put a lot of pressure onto TikTok, YouTube,
Mhm.
Facebook, or like,
Yeah.
is it hard for you when it come down to doing that?
I would say my priority is YouTube, but I post the same videos on all 3 platforms. I do TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. I go ahead and do the same thing for each one. I definitely don't have the bandwidth right now to kind of tailor different videos to different platforms. But for me, that's kinda been working. I don't put too much weight into TikTok because I've talked to people that really have found the groove with it, and all of a sudden it just, like, randomly falls off, and it's kinda like, well, I'm not gonna put too much time and effort into that if it's kind of not as consistent. But, I mean, I've spent a lot of time on TikTok too, so
Take it
can't.
from me, TikTok let me down a little bit, but,
Yeah,
hey, we keep rebelling.
yeah. One door closes, another door opens.
Exactly, exactly. Because something I'm finding hard to kinda juggle with is just the fact that you have these different platforms, right? Different algorithms that you gotta figure out, right? With that, you also have people who's commenting under your videos, and you might be like, "Oh, man, I can't get to everyone," but, you might have more on TikTok, you might have more on Instagram, you might have more on YouTube. So just trying your best to make time to be able to communicate or respond to
Mhm.
these comments, that could be nerve-wracking sometimes. So, how is that for you to be able to just be like, "Okay, well, let me go answer these few today, and I finish some more tomorrow."
Yeah. I will say I feel like I've just recently dealt with this with TikTok. I had a video about getting to hold Michael Jackson's tour worn glove, and so I had posted a TikTok about that, and that one took off for me and has a bunch of comments. And I just kind of threw up my hands. I was like, I'm not gonna get to every comment. I'll just just not. There's no way. And I think a lot of them are kind of like repeat comments and stuff like that, people kind of making play on jokes about Michael Jackson, different things. So I some of it, if it gets a little touchy, I'm just gonna stay out of it. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
yeah.
comment on that. But
Good PR training.
yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I'm like, well, I'll let the people say what they want to say. But for the most part, I just kind of try to get back to everybody, as soon as I'm seeing it or if I have time to sit down. But I'm still so new into everything. I haven't gotten too overwhelmed yet about things.
Gotcha, gotcha. Because I know a lot of content creators be having trouble when it come down to either, trying to put the same amount of energy in all these platforms that they do as one, or just trying to communicate with everyone who's showing love to our content and stuff. It's not like you're ignoring them, it's just too much. And,
Hmm.
like, how I try to do it is, if I try to answer at least the first 10, the first
Yeah.
15, but if it's a video that's going crazy and I get like 150 comments, I'm not answering all 150 comments.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna look, like you just said, I'm gonna let the people do the job for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But far as that, what can we see more of you, far as the next couple of months or
I would say probably there's gonna be I do have more of a travel schedule coming up, so it'll probably be more of traveling things going on. I'm trying to lean into more content like I did with the Studio Ghibli Fest, kind of updating more time relevant things instead of things that have already happened. So I would say that's kind of my direction right now is kind of doing stuff that are more newsworthy that are coming out as they come out. And yeah, just covering these conventions and these trips I'm taking.
okay, okay. And, look, any shout outs you wanna do as far as, of us closing and stuff?
Shout outs as far as,
Hey, just throw anybody out there.
okay, I'd probably not Shivam. He's super big with Pokemon collectibles and high dollar collectibles, and has taught me quite a bit about content. Pixelated Marge, she's my buddy when we travel, and she's doing amazing for just starting out as well. It's insane. She's already got Pokemon sending her cards and getting
Wow.
brand. Yeah, so she's killing the game. So that'd probably be my two shout outs.
Okay, okay, shout out to them, and look, I thank you so much for joining me on tonight's episode of Retro Pod. It's always a pleasure, Definitely would like to have a recap of later on of everything that you achieved and stuff in your content creation. And we definitely enjoy y'all watching tonight episode and everything. Y'all definitely make sure y'all go follow Miss Lauren on everything that she does, her YouTube, Instagram, TikToks, all social media platforms. Go flood her socials. And look, we thank y'all so much again, and none of this would not be possible without y'all. And we love y'all, and we see y'all next time on the Retro Pioneers podcast. Peace.